Hey everyone, it's Marla, Koupal, and Tracy, and we're here today to help you understand how to be successful in online selling events. And Tracy has multiple events all the time, but she still has some questions about how it is she's going to help everybody be successful in these events. So I'm a sales and marketing strategy coach, but I've also trained corporate teams, individual teams, and even teams on my own business. So when we're coming into these online business situations, we're forming immediate one at a time teams in order to get a job done and help everyone feel successful. So today we're going to see if we can field some of Tracy's questions that will help all of you feel and be more successful in your next online vendor event. So Tracy, what's going on? What is it that you want to kind of get clued into today?
Ooh, there's so many questions, Marla. First of all, I just appreciate your time so much today. I have followed you for a long time and I have already learned so much, but there's always that extra layer that I can't seem to figure out for myself. So I'm excited to collaborate with you today on this and kind of pick your brain.
Yeah.
So a little bit very short and sweet about me. I've coordinated online events where, different vendors can sell different things and they're almost like a networking process. I have consistently seen for 4 years straight after coordinating over 1,500 different events online, the same thing happening, and I just can't figure it out. So let's just say I have two separate events going the same week with the same kind of vendors, but totally different results are happening. So one event might end up having 10 to 20 different sales, and the other event can literally have zero. So I am trying to figure out the divide. I really want to always see, and my heart is to see other people succeed. And I feel like, just plain and honestly, I am always that person. I feel like I'm failing somehow in my communication. So that's kind of why I contacted you, for your expertise on this.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, and I've watched you, and you do a very good job in these events. So you can't totally chalk this challenge up to you and your training, because it's how everybody has been, and I have a favorite term, it's called culturized.
Okay.
How we've been brought up to understand the world. And the world, actually, if we want to be really simple, we're going to cut the pie in half about who has more experience in, let's say, the home life, the caretaking. And this isn't just because you're working from home. You could be working, you'd still have this. The mindset is, I'm here to take care of people. I'm here to help people. And so you get that tangled up with the business perspective, which is why there's people who will negotiate contracts on the business side. We're basically contracting when we come into your vendor groups to all join together for one moment, a few days, to support everyone to be successful in their business. It would be the same as if we were on Main Street. You got the grocer, you got the realtor, you got the insurance guy, and all of a sudden, they go over and buy an apple from the grocer, and then they talk to somebody, and that person follows them into their insurance shop. Well, that's why you're doing this vendor group, is to get a community going for a small moment in which everybody's value can shine.
Yeah.
So now people don't understand. They're trying to be competitive, maybe more than supportive, because they feel like they'll be left out if they don't get so many sales or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually, the world of grace works like the more you help the other person, you do get something back. But it's not an immediate, it's not a tit for tat. So alliances, business are built on this form of reciprocation. I'll do for you if you do for me. And we just start the process. And at some point, it starts to pay out and get kind of even all over the place. Now, I know that sounds like hooey to some people, which is okay.
No, it's actually faces the exact issue that I feel like if I really drew out what that looks like, right, to put plain and simply, like the issue I feel like that occurs sometimes is I'm trying to help people, especially new vendors, really understand these networking events in the sense that this is a business collaboration. It's not so much a personal effort, right? So if you could, you know, just talk a little bit more about what that looks like to really collaborate together to achieve the same goal, right? That everybody has networking online.
Yeah, you know what? You just brought to mind something. There are a number of business networking groups, and some work better than others. So we just step over here for just a minute. So in the world of business, everybody says, get your 60-second elevator pitch. Well, first of all, a pitch is only good at the moment someone has a need. So you could share that same pitch with 100 people, but only one of them is going to pick it up because that person had a need at the time they heard you. So networking events are kind of the same way sometimes. So, you know, you go to a networking event, you collect everybody's business card, you each take 60 seconds and tell them something and it doesn't stick, can't stick. I no longer go to network events and tell people my 60 seconds. I go out and I listen to them, I make notes on the card, and I follow up with them later. Like say, hey, I want to continue this conversation because now I have a singular audience to work it with. So when we're in a vendor group such as yours, the strategy is to, again, be sure we know everybody in the group, comment on their posts because we're trying to stir the energy of the group. There's a magnet that forms when everybody comments on everybody else's posts. And we don't have to say we like their product or we want their product. We say something like, wow, this sounds really like you really love what you do. This sounds like your product is really helping a lot of people. I wish you well. So when we get out there in that group, that's called team play. Our personal goal is kind of just put beneath the goal of the team. And the team at this point is your vendor event.
Yeah.
That's how football teams work. That's how corporate teams work. That's how the world works, is we all play. When we're there, we bring our full value. And our full value is just not selling something, but it's creating an environment where people see us as wholesome. We are somebody they want to do business work with. So they get a better impression as we comment on everybody. So everybody's bringing their own shoppers to the group, right?
Yeah.
Well, why are they doing that? They're pooling the buyers because not everybody wants to buy your product at the same time. But if those same buyers keep coming back to these events, then you're all going to pay off at some point.
Yeah, that is very helpful. And we do have a good network of consistent buyers. One thing that, you know, I'm looking at kind of renovating a little bit is how to continually find those people that love supporting small businesses, because as you know, in any kind of networking, it's all about the small businesses, right? And being able to foster and help them grow, because you've probably heard this phrase 1,000 times, but you know, supporting a small business is supporting a dream. And that's really true, you know? And so that kind of brings me to my next thing is like, sometimes I wonder in these events, if each vendor really understands how valuable and unique their products are. And, you know, I wonder if I don't know if they know, like that they don't really need to worry about getting unique buyers, that there's people in the group that are going to see their products and, you know, be able to be a good fit.
People also buy the person. So if you yourself have not created some type of a persona of yourself with this product where people automatically see you as this or that. So for years, I worked the same trade shows. I worked 14 trade shows a year. I had the same product. It was a health product. I get people coming back to me all the time because it was an expensive product. I would give a 15-minute demonstration because that was how they were going to experience the far infrared light. But I had my storefront at those 14 shows twice a year. And it just kept rolling, and that's how I built the business. But you know what? People came not only for the experience, they came like I was family. They wanted to chat with me. So when people choose to buy the same brand, and of course you don't mix your brands in your vendor events, but let's just say if there were two people here with the same brand products, they're going to pick the person that has the personality, that has the relationship, is not playing from fear, can be really open and enthusiastic about the person, not about the sale. Okay. So it's the relationship you create with your buyer that's going to make the sale.
Yeah, and that actually, I don't even know that I asked that question directly, but that was something else that I was going to ask is, I know that there's a lot of companies out there that have recently launched a lot of the same products that are totally outside of like what their niche would be. And I know that that's in the marketplace in general, that's kind of what sets it apart. So think about like when you walk into an Ulta, for instance, there's a million different brands everywhere.
Mhm.
What draws them to that one particular brand? That was one of my questions. So I don't know if you have a little bit more on that, but I know you touched on it.
Well, okay, so let's just take the store like Ulta. The brand obviously is being recognized because their friend uses it. Or they've seen the same thing on Instagram or Facebook 50,000 times. So now they're going to try it. Okay. But it still comes down to the person in Ulta who ultimately answers their questions and sells it as to whether or not they're going to try it.
That's so true. Yeah.
Okay. So in this situation, in a vendor group, if all the vendors are being friendly with the other vendors and going in, giving attaboys and attagirls and comments on their daily posts, which will stir the Facebook algorithm, then the buyers that come into that group are going to say, there's a lot of camaraderie here. I'm really curious. I want to stick around for a while. I want to see what's going on. They aren't just shopping to see the things. They're shopping to meet new people also, because how many of us go into a store and strike up a conversation with the person next to us?
Yeah.
I know not everybody does, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what your vendor event is encouraging. Second point. So that's why everybody wants to play together. The second point is about products. Every company in the world is trying to become an Amazon of a type. Because they're figuring, okay, we already have a captive audience. If we have a captive audience, then we'll give them this because that'll just get us more sales. It's the same thing that cereal companies do. They make Captain Crunch, and now they go make 5 boxes, different colors, purple, green, orange.
Yeah.
They throw in marshmallows in one and something else in the other. It's the same basic sugar thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so now they're trying to capture the market with just 5 different boxes. That's all that's going on. So you want to make your mark, you want to become memorable around your key product, what it is that you really work. And I know in your vendor events, everybody only gets to market their key product. So that eliminates that grocery store, Amazon type thing. I think it's a great way to work your event because people get a limelight, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very helpful. And like you had mentioned too, just keeping that goal of the whole group together, right? That this isn't a personal effort. This isn't just about one vendor in particular. This is about the algorithm, and we as a team have to beat it, right? In anything online. So that's all. Yeah, that's really helpful.
So the reason everybody's coming together in your vendor event is not to be competitive. And not in collaboration is I call it support, because collaboration is misunderstood. But I believe that what you're all doing, you're saying is we've got 5 days or 6 days to make an impact in our bottom line this month. I'm going for it. That means my job is to not only present my product, not only to make good creative marketing, but to create some allies with camaraderie, make the, what do they call that? The spirit of the event, make it rock.
Yeah.
It takes all of that. It's not just how great your posts are, or just, it's a collective. So people can come into groups. You've seen it, I bet. You go into a group and you go, this is kind of dead, doesn't have any energy. You go into another one, it goes, woo, this is hopping.
Yeah.
Well, where do you want to shop? You want to shop where the party is.
Yep.
So
yes.
Everybody's got to bring their party.
Yep. And that's that. I love that. Thank you for that. And I like, that is exactly what I think I needed to hear from the start of our call in my initial question of how come this group has this going on and this group doesn't, and whether this person in this group might be doing great, but if the rest of the team isn't, then they're simply not going to have the results that this group is going to have.
And when they get a good vibe, they're going to want to come back to that same shopping event.
Yeah, absolutely. And the buyers are too, because the buyers are going to say, this is fun. this is
Yeah.
something I want to be a part of, instead of scrolling my Facebook feed, I want to come scroll this event group,
Oh, yeah, just
And
make
yeah,
life easy.
yeah,
I mean,
so
it's like, I was trying to think, just something came to mind. I'm not too sure I'm gonna get it right, but in my analogy, but think of Taylor Swift. She's pulling together 90,000 people at a time and they're having a party.
yeah,
I'm so impressed with that woman and her business acumen and her stuff. And she could be my daughter because she's the same age as my son. But I gotta tell you,
yeah,
she's rocking it. And
yeah,
that's the same kind of thing you want to do.
yeah,
Is everybody has to learn to be extremely just like excited for the next person. I don't even want to say the word supportive. You got to be excited that this person made a choice to go into a business, to have a side gig. You're excited about yours. Then my gosh, if everybody's excited together, that's going to keep you motivated, because motivation is inside. It comes from the inside out. No other person is ever going to motivate you.
yeah.
Only you. Yeah.
And I love that in yours. I think that speaks exactly to like a mindset portion where it really is the law of attraction. And,
It is.
for those that maybe haven't heard of that, it's worth the study, because the more your energy can be and be supportive of others, you're putting in the world what you're really wishing for in return. And that's exactly how, I believe that anything in life works. So
And
thank you so much.
there's a whole conversation around alignment too, which we'll go into. So
yeah,
get this out to everybody that needs it.
absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks, Marla.